Hi. Before we even get into anything, um, and you can skip ahead if you wanna. I don't really mind. Um, just want to say thank you for 120, and I want to set a new goal now. I guess. Um, for I guess the next goal is 150. So for 150, I will completely destroy the grandfather paradox, and not only destroy it, but completely bypass it. So yeah, I don't know when we could hit it. I don't care when it happens, but for that, that'll be the special thing I do for 150. Because since that's the next goal I set, you know what I mean. Okay, Vrillon or the Vrillon Incident, whatever it's called. I've mentioned it like 4 times, and every time I've mentioned it, I've said that I really liked it because it was one of the first obscure things that I found. So I wanted to cover it and cover it just a bit differently than from what I've seen. So, well, let me just explain it first. On November 26, 1977, in southern parts of England, a television broadcast was interrupted, and it was interrupted by a voice that was coming through the screen, coming through the broadcast, of someone named Vrillon, who belonged to the Ashtar Galactic Command. This interruption happened while a man named Andrew Gardner was presenting the news to the people, and it lasted for 6 minutes. During the interruption, the TV picture started wobbling and a deep, weird buzzing voice started coming through the TV, and this is what it sounded like.
This is the voice of Vrillon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the stars. We speak to you now to send this thing as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth.
The message is actually very good. It's actually very long too, but because it's 6 minutes. But it's all about humanity should drop their weapons and get their shit together and work as a unit, so then they can ascend to a higher level of being, and then therefore these aliens will either come and help us or guide us to whatever. But essentially, what Vrillon is saying is that we should all get our act together, so then we can live in harmony with them.
When the interruption ended and everything was said and done, it cut back to Looney Tunes. Great show, whoever was watching at the time. And Southern Television came out and said that they apologized for what was a breakthrough in the sound. The incident caused a lot of alarm, obviously, and some people were saying that his name was either Vrillon, Grillon, or some people say Asteron. I don't hear Asteron at all, but whatever. This is where it gets a bit interesting. About 6 years prior to this, in 1971, there was a British radio talk show where it was devoted to UFOs and all that kind of stuff, and they received a weird call-in from someone, and they were saying that their origins were from outer space, and this whole thing, I don't think I can find it, but if I can, I'll leave it there, obviously. But the thing about this specific call was that people think that it was a prelude, whatever. It was a prequel to the whole Vrillon situation. So this whole thing could have started 6 years prior, and no one found out. What's even crazier is the connection to the Ashtar Galactic Command, which is a odd thing that is real. It's more of a UFO religion, as what it says on its Wikipedia page, but this thing is real. A lot of people follow this thing, and they follow the Ashtar Galactic Command, and its, I guess, head honcho person, the person they follow essentially is an alien named Ashtar, and they hold this guy up to high esteem, and I'm talking like Jesus high esteem, and that's not even me making a joke. They are literally comparing him to Jesus, and it all goes back to their founder, I believe, the first person that started getting these messages from someone. A man named George Van Tassel was said to have been getting telepathic messages from this Ashtar, and then he started the whole religion from this. Van Tassel had interpreted the Christian Bible and said that this was an external affair from aliens, and that Jesus was actually Ashtar, right? He was saying that Jesus was actually an alien, and that this alien was named Ashtar, the person that they're following. But the thing about this is that the whole Vrillon situation is considered to be a hoax, since no one has been caught, and since it's a bit of a weird message. It's, well, not kind of a weird message. I personally think it's a very good message. And I think because no one has been caught, and no one has been, or no one came forward or anything, and it doesn't really matter anymore. You know, if it happened in the 70s, no one's gonna, you know, I don't think you would get tried. But people think it's a hoax, obviously. But the thing is, if it is a hoax, then who was making this message, and what was it for? So I guess the most popular belief is that it's someone from the Ashtar Galactic Command UFO religion thing. And my thing is, why were you spreading that message? It's a very good message, I think. But why were you doing that? And why to only Southern England? And if it wasn't someone part of the Ashtar Galactic Command, then who was it? Was it just some weirdo, some nerd, just messing with people? Because it kind of would fall into that kind of thing, right? Weird interruption of TV broadcast, deep, distorted voice, right? Sounds like something a loser would do. But if not, and it was someone else, then who could it have been? And then why were they doing this, right? So I guess it kind of goes into like, was there just some other type of cult around this area at the same time, and then they just hacked the broadcast, and then they let their message get out? I don't know. And then where did they get the name Vrillon from? I don't know, but that's a cool name. I think there was someone who had associated this with someone named Rail. I don't know, but his last name was Vrillon or Vrillon. Sounds kind of like Vrillon, but still, either way, there was someone who was trying to send a message, a very good message, a very, how do I put it, upholding message. It holds up to today, is what I'm trying to say. Or, and hear me out, was it actually aliens? Was it actually these aliens that this Van Tassel guy was actually contacting? Was it them? And could it have been? We don't know. Maybe that's why no one came forward, because it was them. And I don't know. You know, at the time, you couldn't necessarily record TV. Like, you can, or you could, but you needed a whole big machine, and they were very expensive at the time. So I don't think no one was going to be spending the big bucks to record the news at the time. So I don't doubt the fact that this could not be a hoax, or there's a possibility that this isn't a hoax, and then no one recorded it, because how are you just gonna notice that just happening? And then you need that whole big ass machine that you're gonna need to spend a lot of bucks on. So yeah, I don't blame no one for not recording it. There's a lot of, not interpretations, reenactments, that's the word. A lot of reenactments of it on the internet. And it was also reenacted around, I want to say the 90s. I don't have the information on me at hand, so I'm gonna have to correct myself, but it was reenacted again sometime later. So just, what is this incident? Is it just a hoax? Is it just some dude messing with people in Southern England, and only Southern England? Or was it this whole UFO religion that was trying to spread their message to the others? Or was it actually aliens? I want to go with it was actually aliens. It was actually the people that Van Tassel was contacting. And then that means it could have been Jesus. Or this Jesus, Ashtar, if you will. And then that helps another thing. If this Ashtar is a real thing, then it helps the multiple Christ thing, because there's another version of Christ. But inherently, it's a really good mystery to me, because no one ever came forward, and then we have about 3 things that we can speculate, and they're all maybe just 2 of them are viable, but the third one, viable to me, it's canon to me, and that's what happened. From what I can tell, that's about it. That's all the information on this situation. I don't think there was any other follow-up. No, there wasn't any other follow-up. Yeah, nothing happened after this, essentially. There was that one reenactment they did, like a couple years later, and then that was it. No one followed up on it. But it's still very odd how it's a good message that could either come from a troll, or a cult, or aliens. So, I guess it just leaves everyone with the question, who did it? Who do you think did it? What do you think it was for? And then, I guess if you present this to a lot of people, and then you present them the possible scenarios, most likely, everyone's gonna have a different opinion, I suppose. So, I do like this. It's a very small, but very interesting thing, right? It's not like other broadcast interruptions, like the Max Headroom thing, where I think the dude was caught, and then it's not like the what is it called? Where was it from? I don't remember where it was from, but it was from the US. But there was a whole broadcast about zombies coming up and rising from the dead. That was fake, obviously. Yeah, the dude was like reading off a script from a song, like what is it when they start speaking right before they start singing? It's from a song. It's really weird, but yeah, I think those two are like very popular TV interruptions. And then there's this one that just couldn't be solved, and then leads to a whole other thing about a UFO religion cult, and it probably ties into them. And then, if you saw the whole Satanic Saturn thing, they mentioned the Ashtar Galactic Command, which is fucking hilarious. I cannot tell you just how fucking hilarious that was to me when I first saw it. But I guess that's it. Just weird mystery. Weird small mystery that I love, because one of the very first things that I found about. I was about 13 when I first saw this, so I kind of believed it. I didn't, yeah, and then like years later they were like, oh, possible hoax, and it broke my heart. But I just like it. It connects to like another really weird thing, and then this is more out of just me because I like this, rather than because I find super duper interesting and I want to share it with others. No, this is just for me, that I want to do it. I just want to talk about it. But I mean, I guess, what do you think? Do you think it was actually aliens? Was it just some dude hacking and then being cringy and distorting his voice? Or was it this cult? I don't know. I hope it was the aliens. But yeah, that's it for this. There's nothing else. Nothing else on this whole Vrillon situation. This whole Ashtar Galactic Command. There's more about the Ashtar Galactic Command as a whole. But that wasn't the point of this. The whole point of this was I wanted to talk about Vrillon. That was it. So thank you for watching me over explain this thing. I think I mentioned a couple of things that a lot of others don't mention. I've seen not very little, but smaller explanations on this, and they don't go into a lot about it. They just kind of get really specific with what happened, and they miss out a lot of other details. So I didn't want to get super specific about it. I just wanted to bring other details that connect to this. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. This is I've been talking for almost 17 minutes now. This is why. Yeah, what's next for me? I don't know what's next. I'm sure it'll be sooner than I'm sure it won't be that big of a break from this to the next thing. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. So, yeah. Yeah, we're good here. We're good here. You can head on out now. It's okay.